I hope it works.
Technology is our friend.
I know. I couldn't get my city email to work this morning.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was the
Okay.
weirdest thing.
Call to order this meeting of the City of Salem Joint URSHA and Council Board and Commission Appointment Committee meeting for Monday, November 25th, 2024. President Hoy. And we need
I
to
couldn't get my city email to work this morning.
okay. And member Councilor Nordike is not here. Maybe she'll be here soon, but we're gonna get going. So we're skipping right to review and fill vacancies. Is that correct, Dan?
That is right, Mr. Mayor. What we have on the agenda today, thank you. Just several vacancies for some boards and commissions to revisit. Let me pull up our beautiful spreadsheet here.
First up is Citizens Advisory Traffic Commission.
So Patsy, all of these are going to have some reappointments, some people that have requested to be reappointed. And so we'll make it a little bit easier for you. The first is a reappointment for Kenneth Kennedy Schultz. And then we do have two people, two vacancies that are coming up very shortly here that we can appoint people for.
And they have not requested reappointment?
That's correct. Well, excuse me, these are termed out. So
okay.
Kenneth Adams and Nick Cantonwine have both finished their second terms
Okay.
here in a month.
Would now be a good time to talk about my conversations with staff about this committee?
No. I mean, this is just appointments. I mean, I don't know. We're not talking about, it's not on the agenda in terms of reformulation or anything. That seems like we should do that.
I'm just wondering if appointing people now and then have it change. We were talking about, does this formulation of people need to have, for instance, somebody from transit included in that, right? So that's my question right now is, does it change at all?
I hear you.
Yep.
I just think that given that this is the current makeup, these are the applicants, these are the vacancies, we should go forward. And if ultimately council decides to make a change to the way it's all set up, then I think that's a wholesale change.
Okay.
But we should just go forward. I mean, I think we should just go forward as it's currently formulated, because that's going to be a process that takes time. I would prefer to just deal with the vacancies as listed. Does that work for you?
And then things, just the staff, Kevin will be retiring soon. There's gonna be a lot
A lot of things going on with this
changes,
committee. for
yes.
sure.
Mhm.
I think both of them maybe are.
I think so. This is gonna be, so a new person coming in, so yeah. I think we assign without all the uncertainties.
Right. So are we interested in reappointing Kennedy Schultz?
I think so. I was just reading his.
Yeah, his application looked great and he's interested and we don't have a reason not to. That's typically our standard.
Yep.
So then the request remains on the two openings. So we have,
And both of them are in Ward 1 that are the openings. And yet we have a variety, we've got a couple from Ward 4, one from 6. So we have some variety, which is, ward variety. So
Montessa Times does not live in Ward 4.
Yeah, and Kenneth says he lives in Ward 1.
I was just thinking that is a 1 and that's a 5 up
Yeah.
there. So at some point, either what he's put in has changed or what
He
I've
is in
looked up has
Ward.
changed.
Yeah, I don't know, Spruce Street Northeast, I think that is.
That's 5, I think. It's up by Pine, past Pine.
Okay,
oh yeah, this was by the trees.
And Montessa Times is that they live in Kaiser.
but also Ward 4.
Oh.
How,
I'm not sure how that happens.
River Road.
Yeah, they put in what they put in these things. Yes.
their address is Kaiser, they're not.
They're not gonna be in Ward 4. I'd be in Ward 4 in Kaiser, but I don't think they're gonna be.
Kaiser doesn't have wards. For the record, Councilor Nordike has joined us.
So that would make this person not eligible?
Well, I don't know what the requirements are for this committee that we're looking at.
So,
Candy Schultz.
um,
and then there's
is that further on the spreadsheet?
What do you need?
That,
We need the requirements
we
for
need to
the,
understand
there's
if somebody has to if somebody has to live in Salem,
There are no special membership requirements
okay,
for CATSI.
so they can live in another city.
Mars.
They can live in Mars or Venus.
Yes,
They could
yes.
be,
Yes.
from Mars or Venus.
well, we do have other candidates as well.
Yeah,
We have Ramona Murtha, who lives in Salem. And we have Jacqueline Rowe, who lives in Salem. And we have,
Jeffrey.
I'm sorry,
It's
It's
Evans.
Evans.
It is
Oh,
Evans,
it's
Evans, he, yeah,
he did it, so,
yeah,
and Kyle Hedquist.
And this is for Citizens Advisory Traffic Commission, okay.
Yeah.
Are you guys, have you already talked about considering reappointment of
We already,
those? Is
we
that
already
for-
did the reappointment on Kennedy Schultz.
He's the
Okay.
only
He's the
one.
only one.
He's the only one and the other two are open,
Yeah,
okay.
the other two have turned
Turned
out.
out.
And turned, okay, got it.
We need to appoint two.
I know Kyle. I think he's gonna be good.
And
But I mean, is it Ward 1, so I know that we kind of have a heavy handling with one already, or do we just now have one person from Ward 1?
Now we
We're
have,
getting, because Kenneth isn't gonna
Yeah.
be there and Nick isn't gonna be there.
So there's.
oh,
just
this
one other.
Kyle's already listed there.
Yes,
Kyle,
this is true.
yeah, Kyle's already there.
Oh, there
They
you
must have
go.
appointed him last time.
So fantastic, good job.
We don't
He's
have, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you. Jackie Roche, I know her, I know her as a person, I've never seen her in professional capacity, but she's really nice and really chill. It's in my book, seems fair-minded and we don't have a Ward 4 person, so that would be cool. So in that area. The other folks, Jeffrey Evans, that name sounds familiar, but I can't place it.
Yeah.
Look at
We've
that.
had some
Yeah, you do
interactions
know.
with him.
And he's applied for some other things you're gonna see.
Oh, okay, maybe that's why, maybe we've seen his name on it.
We've seen his name a few times.
Gotcha, okay.
And Montressa has applied for everything.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw.
And the interesting, Vanessa, you missed the conversation, she's listed an address in Kaiser, but then
Oh.
lists Ward 4, so we're unclear what that means. Whether that,
Does Kaiser have wards?
no,
No, I don't believe so, no, I think they're all. I never got to know the Kaiser City Council very well, so I couldn't really tend to be an expert on it.
so what's your pleasure? On these two, we have 5 folks to consider for 2 spots.
Well,
Oh,
I'm
no, we have 4
We have-
folks, because Kenneth is gone.
I thought we have 3.
There's,
Oh, you're
there's a,
right, Ramona Murtha, Jacqueline Roche, Jeffrey Evans, and then Montressa Time, that's 4.
Should we say that again?
Makes
We have
me feel better.
Montressa Times, Jeffrey Evans, Jacqueline Roche, and Ramona Murphy. Kennedy Schultz shouldn't be on there, because we just reappointed him.
Oh, I got it.
Oh, yeah.
Just reappointed him back to the upper slot, and he's not.
Did Ramona just apply for Cassie?
I don't think I saw the name anywhere else, but I'm not positive.
She's in your ward, city number?
She was-
Okay, sorry.
Oh, I thought you said you did.
I know Jackie Roche.
Oh, I'm
Roche,
sorry.
yeah. And she's
So-
a 4.
Montressa, I mean, she has an interesting background, but without clarity on her residency. That's the concern. She does list a home address of River Road, but then later on in her material, she clicked the box for resident within or representative of the interests of residents within the riverfront URA. So I don't know what to make of that. I would like
I don't
clarity on that before I
Yeah.
consider appointing her to something.
I agree.
Very confused.
Yeah.
The other applicants all seem qualified to me. I don't have an opinion on really any.
Mhm.
It would be good to get, always we want to try to get ward diversity in there as best we can.
Yes,
And so 4 and 6,
Yep.
are not represented currently. So, or 8, but we don't have any 8.
We have a
applicants.
4, 6, and 7.
And we have one other 7 on there.
John, I do know.
And he'll be finishing out in another year. And I think John should stay. I mean,
Oh,
he's gonna finish out this year.
Question. We have 2 that have specifically asked for Patsy.
Right.
And we have 1 that has applied to everything.
Right.
So maybe the 4 of us could hash that out, like how do we, I mean, I
Yeah.
like that these 2 people have specifically sought out this,
So that would be Jeffrey and Jacqueline.
no, that would be Ramona.
Oh,
And
Ramona
Jacqueline.
down below 7.
Ramona and Jacqueline.
Well, actually, so did Jeffrey Evans apply to everything? I heard that he did.
He has
That's what I was doing.
Okay,
applied to a lot.
And did I speak correctly that Ramona and Jacqueline have just sought out the cat seat?
More or less, she appears, Jacqueline, I'm sorry, was that one that you asked about?
Yeah.
Jacqueline, yeah,
As applied for other things, but doesn't meet eligibility for DAB, for example.
right.
Okay.
That is the one that has a lot of restrictions.
Lab, this is what lab's gonna look like for 1 vacancy.
Oh, wow, good for them. I'm glad people are interested. That's fabulous.
You know, yeah.
Well, let's refocus on Catsy, please.
Yes.
I don't want to.
Hey, Dan, I'm sorry, I know that, where can I find Ramona Murtha's application here?
It's on the.
It should be in CATSI if you have a CATSI.
But sometimes it's on the back.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time locating it. I just wanted to look at her credentials, see if that jogs her memory.
Virtual Willamette University.
I generally like the one with people. Oh, thank you so much, Dan. Okay,
Sorry, these,
she's on Barrett. Okay.
this one's a little bit, I don't think we want it to be.
Interesting. Well, I like the fact that she has a background from other cities. I think when you're looking at traffic advisory, it's useful to have the perspectives of other areas who might have a completely different approach to
good
traffic.
point. Yes, I agree with you.
Sacramento County, Lake Tahoe, El Dorado County, New Mexico. Yeah, I mean, she seems extremely qualified.
Yeah, she also brings up as a motorist and public transportation user and a pedestrian over the years in urban Portland, rural Eastern Oregon, and Salem, right? So it's just like lots of different
Yeah.
expanses of uses.
Sounds like a good guy.
Yeah, I think she'd be great.
I agree.
So are we, have a consensus then on Jacqueline and Ramona?
I believe we do.
I think we do.
Great.
Cool.
Yes.
And now we're on to
I
Deb.
like to join it.
Yeah, we can move to DAB. No,
I tried to not.
I know, I'm
mess
so
with
sorry.
your files.
I'll get CATSI, CATSI can just go away.
Okay, thank you.
And now we're on to DAB.
Who's
Thank you very
Patsy?
much.
You joined Patsy? Oh, maybe. You're good.
I'm fine. It's okay.
Okay, this is the one that had a lot.
So we need to
So-
figure out the restrictions first, probably.
Mhm.
So, Mr. Mayor, I might suggest that we've got 3 people who are requesting reappointment.
Okay.
Okay.
And then we do have 3 vacancies. The good news is 2 of the applicants are supported by your staff liaison and do meet the eligibility to fill 2 of those appointments.
Let's deal with the reappointments first, and then we'll go to the others. So, what are the reappointment requests?
Lori Miller, excuse me, is
Okay.
eligible
Yeah,
for
she only took a partial
Yeah.
and she's been on it before.
Okay, and who's the other one?
Alan Pollock
Okay,
and Kirk Sund.
great. And they're all interested, so we don't have any reason to not reappoint them, right?
Yeah, Alan represents transit, so
Yeah.
that's good. And Kirk is doing a great job.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
And then out of your applicants, you've
What's
got,
the position that we have to fill first before we go to the applicants?
so you've got 2, a business or property owner within the Riverfront downtown URA.
Okay,
The
2
way-
of those,
And both of those
okay.
can be, if you choose, can be filled by Angie Oven and Eric Taylor.
Those are the only two that meet the
Those are the
requirements.
only two that meet the requirement.
Okay, so let's focus on those two applications.
Angie Oven and Eric Taylor.
Angie owns the bridal store downtown.
Oh, I.
Oh, Angie's Bridal? She did-
I got lots of
And
interest.
she
Yeah.
is very involved in the Salem Main Street and
Yeah.
the holiday parade. I encouraged her couple, 3 or more years ago, at least 2, to consider Dad. And so she emailed me, she says, I want to let you know, I finally filled out my application.
Great.
And so she's enthusiastic. She is downtown. She's been downtown for a long time. I think she would have a very good handle on the
Yeah.
appropriateness of downtown businesses.
Yeah, I've had interactions with her
Mhm.
before about downtown issues, and she, yeah, I think she'd be great.
Yeah, I really appreciate her approach to things. Even when we haven't agreed on things, she's very.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
very
Eric-
kind, respectful.
Eric
and
Taylor?
spoken.
I don't see him.
I have lots of repeats in my phone.
I know.
Yeah. But I don't see Eric. Oh, there is Eric at the very end.
They hide.
Sometimes they're on the back.
I like that we have the names on the bottom.
Oh, yeah,
Like
it's the
left
very last.
Oh, good tip. Pro tip, pro tip.
Want to give you a heads up, I've been going to Dad as frequently as I've been able to. And Ernesto has not been attending.
Since when?
I think he's only been to 1 meeting since we have had him on. Or when we appointed him, so at least 6 months. So that's just more of an awareness
Mhm.
for you and I, 'cause,
Yeah,
and though I spoke with Christian Rutherford, I just said, is Ernesto not coming? And she says, no, he's not.
That's something that the liaison needs to take up.
Yes, exactly.
So,
Hopefully changing, that's gonna be another change.
great.
Do we know what business Eric owns?
So he says specifically, he's selecting, I'm confused
Yeah.
because on his application, he checked the box that says representative of the Salem community at large. Note, you must not have a business or own property within the riverfront downtown urban renewal area. But then I thought that's the position they were recommending him for.
Can you go back to that?
he's with Maps Credit
Because of
Union.
the-
Is Maps located downtown?
Yeah, but he doesn't own it.
That's
It's,
true.
it's not about working there.
That's true.
Resides within or represents the interest of residents within the
No,
riverfront.
No, we were looking for
Sorry.
Oh,
owner, business or property owner.
I'm confused what we're looking at then.
Well, he doesn't own property downtown based on his application.
don't-
He doesn't live down.
so I believe what he's applying for might not be available.
I don't think he.
And so the
That was my
liaison's
perception.
recommending him for a different position.
It's not open.
Well,
You look like you have 2 different types of positions open.
correct.
I don't think he would qualify as business or property owner, but he might qualify for another category.
Oh, that's correct, sorry. You're looking for Eric Taylor, excuse me?
Yes.
Let's see exactly what
Oh,
we're,
but she says that he represents something on the bottom. Yeah,
right.
Not clear.
were you trying to go see her email?
Yeah, I was gonna try to see if I could pull up her,
Okay, yeah, good idea.
her exact email.
And then
You
he'll
probably
accept.
should look for,
Yeah,
I feel that, believe me.
probably should just look for Sheree.
that's what I've done.
Waiting for AI to really organize my email.
Oh.
Wouldn't that be amazing? Like,
So-
oh, is this the email you meant? Fish it out of that. It's coming.
Or, you know, where
It's
her
coming.
son-
That will be a gift.
This is
There.
10-6.
The problem is, I bet his name comes up in a lot of stuff without it being all about his eligibility.
Angie Oven, business,
No,
Definitely.
vacancy,
Eric Taylor.
business owner, that's one of the.
So a current vacant on downtown.
So he's that last one in your
But I
spreadsheet.
thought we didn't have that available.
It says vacant by it.
Business owner, that is, there's 2 business owners.
there,
This
There's-
one. Is he this one?
So there's 2 vacancies.
Maybe he's representing a bank.
It's
For-
that
for-
lines 4 and 6 require business or property ownership.
What about line 12?
Line 12 resides within, he does not
Represents.
reside, he is on Pioneer Drive.
Or
Southeast.
represents the interests of residents, but yeah, so no, he doesn't know, I don't see that he qualifies. I'm not sure what she's saying.
You wanna go back to where?
Because he lists his occupation is at Maps Credit Union, which I don't believe
Where
has.
does Kirk fall in? Because I wonder if they can. Does Kirk represent a business downtown?
I don't know if it's that simple to
He's-
switch from out of
I
that
don't
point
know.
of position.
Right, you know, he is CBG too.
I don't know if that's in there.
Well,
Since we're
it must be
reappointing him.
because his boss was on DAP for 6 years. Chair, so I
Oh,
think.
residents. I see why you don't think he fits.
Yeah, it says resident. He
Residents, not
represents
a
resident.
business, copy.
Mhm.
Oh, so isn't he this one representing business?
Yeah,
Not based on his application.
Somebody's representing him.
yeah, based on his application, he wants at large. Sheree thinks he's eligible
For
for
row
either 4 or
six,
6.
I see.
We don't think he's eligible for anything, except for at large, which there's not an opening for.
Yeah, he appears to be eligible for at large, but I don't see that we have an opening.
No,
Can I ask a question? And like, hear me out, because it's kind of a multifaceted one. Kirk's son.
Mhm.
Does he own a business downtown or work downtown?
He works at CBD too.
And do they work downtown?
yes,
Okay, so
That's
my
right.
question is
yeah,
that
that's the
if
architect's
we
office.
are reappointing Kirk, can we reappoint him to not the at-large position, but one that represents either the 4, the 6, or the 12? And then that would create a vacancy within the at-large and then appoint this person that we're debating, Eric Taylor, to the at-large position.
I think you could, since Kirk's term is expired. If he was
Correct.
midterm, I would say no,
Yes.
but since he is expiring, I think you could do that.
I think you can do
I
that.
don't think he's gonna care.
Since he
And nobody
enters
knows, I mean,
residents.
I don't
It's
think,
not, I don't, and the thing is about these special requirements, they're not attached actually to a position.
Correct.
They're about the board makeup.
Right.
So I don't think that that requirement is actually attached to Kirk, it's just our way of noting who is in what pigeonhole. So I absolutely think we could do that.
Okay.
that's what I would like to do.
Does that work for everybody?
All right, so we're gonna move Kirk.
To the 12 spot.
No, he's in, yes, 212,
Yeah,
yes, yes, yes.
we can do, yeah, move Kirk to 12. I like this.
Okay.
I like the number idea.
And we'll put,
Eric Taylor
12.
on 13,
Mhm.
and then Angie Oven to either 4 or 6. But that would leave us with one more vacancy.
Yes, we still have, and that's better.
no,
No, Alan Pollock is being reappointed, so we just have the 2 vacancies. So Angie would go to, oh, wait a minute, no, you're
No,
right.
there's 3
Okay.
There's
vacancies.
3 vacancies, yes, I was looking at the purple.
If we do the shuffle that Virginia suggested, I think we still have a 4 or 6 open, meaning we still need a business or property.
so we don't have
But we
any
don't have
applicants
any
according to the
applicants
for
lease
those, yeah.
that
Okay.
meets that requirement.
So there'll still be 1 short.
Okay, so we'll just leave
That
4
sounds like-
open. Okay. Okay, thank you. That's done.
That was some gymnastics right there.
Everybody threw their papers at me.
I'll just keep my
Okay,
file
I think I
going.
got this accurate.
Now,
Angie Evans seems like a good recruit, good job.
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor, if you'd like to move the SPRAB, just.
Yeah.
I have it in front of me.
Correct.
You have 2 eligible applicants for reappointment, Mauricio and Alan.
And they're both interested,
Yes,
okay?
and then you have 2.
Hold on, before we go on,
Sure.
are we good with that?
I am.
Everybody good with that reappointments?
Yes,
Okay. Now let's go to the vacancies.
And then you'll have Joan Lloyd would not like to be reappointed, and then you have Dylan McDowell is terming out. And so you've got
that's gonna be a loss.
Indeed.
2 open positions.
That Jeffrey Ekins it's Evans, he actually did a typo in his application.
Yes, I've depending on apparently how I do this, been correcting it or not.
That's fine.
Yeah,
No, I mean,
Oh my God.
I live by autocorrect, so I get it.
Right.
I misspell stuff.
So the liaison supports both Rick and Jeffrey.
And Jeffrey, and you've got 2 open positions. Well, I don't know if one of them is well, excuse me, that doesn't.
School
come into play.
district, yeah.
That's neither of them. So just be for these, this position, Jones and Dylan's.
Yeah, the school district position has been vacant
Vacant
for
for some,
years.
I think that isn't that.
We're looking at getting rid of that because they don't ever go.
I'm just amazed we found an horticultural expert.
I know.
I know.
That is so, I'm like, yeah, it's
I
not
feel
many
like
people qualify.
My time on council has been worth it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we need to consider Rick Hartwig and Jeffrey Evans.
Did we appoint Evans to something else just now?
No.
No,
Okay.
Recently,
because we knew he had applied to other things.
Okay.
And he was the one who applied to a lot of things.
A lot of things.
and we
Right.
recently appointed him to the Human Rights Commission. He had his first meeting as a seated member in just our last month.
And
Oh, okay, so he, six,
Four?
six,
Yeah, thank you.
okay,
And so he would then be on 2 boards and commissions if we select him for this one.
Is liaison actually concerned by all the other applications?
they said. Who is the leader?
Concerned?
Who's the liaison?
I would, yeah, I would say that's my language that I use, and I could probably use a different word.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
very much the
Yes.
same.
Yes, concerned, I would
That
not,
is-
I would not use that
not-
word.
Now, I am concerned about the time zone because I don't know where they live. That's the one that we've been talking about this whole time.
Word, I didn't get the word in here.
Yeah. So here's my question.
Maybe that was the concern.
So, sorry, Dan,
That's
to
okay.
just dive into this a little bit more. So staff are not concerned, but they didn't have any thoughts about the other folks? Or are they requesting that we appoint these 2 people? Does that make sense?
Oftentimes, the liaisons walk a fine line in how they communicate their satisfaction or their concerns with
Okay.
people. And so oftentimes they'll say things like, oh, I support these individuals and don't know. Or sometimes they'll use the word concern. Sometimes they just want to address it, they'll leave it out there. I can dig into a little bit more about what their exact language is. I think we want to be cognizant of the feedback that we get from them to make sure that that we address it.
Yeah, well, I was just looking at, is it Sigrid, am I saying that right?
Sigrid,
Olsen? They are a teacher,
They're a school district person.
and so I thought,
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they're representing the school.
Right,
Yeah,
but
she's
also-
not in that administrative.
I guess my concern with. I want to include as many people as possible, and when we already have one person who's applied, who is already appointed to another committee, do we want to open up this position to somebody who isn't serving at all
Right.
throughout the city?
That
And that would be my kind of,
This
Yes.
is,
Is she already on board, Sigrid?
I don't know, but Jeffrey is.
Okay.
There's some information for you.
Counselor, here's the verbatim feedback
Oh, okay.
from the liaison.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, so they just,
They
they've
haven't
not
attended
attended
the
this.
meeting, so this raises a concern. I
Okay,
did use the word concern.
And they did, that's why you used it, Dan.
Well, sometimes they use them, sometimes they don't.
That's not,
okay, but that's not,
that's not a big deal to me, honestly. It's nice to have, but I mean, honestly, I've served on city boards where I had not attended a prior meeting. It's helpful, yes, but I wouldn't, I don't know. I feel like that's a little heavy-handed in my opinion.
in this day and age where everybody, I think, is really waking up to community service and political activism and getting involved.
Mm.
I think that is actually a really big hindrance for new people getting into,
When they're on
Our
more than one
community.
committee, I.
It's a fair point.
Yeah.
that's just my personal opinion.
Well, let's see where these, so Janelle, Roden, Kieran, and Taylor, these people.
And then the Montressa is pointed out that it must be residents, and so I see no evidence that meets this requirement, so we can probably, and she's applied. I'm okay with, Sigrid.
Yeah, and Sigrid, am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Okay, served on the library board for 8 years.
So now she's
So
looking.
apparently, but is not anymore.
And it does not look like we currently have representation in 2, which is the ward that she's in. So I would vote for her.
Yeah.
How many openings do we have?
2.
So if we appoint Rick, because he's,
I haven't looked at Rick's.
Is Piscicoli on, I don't see Piscicoli as an applicant, but I have him in my packet.
Anthony Coy.
He was appointed to the tourism board.
Oh, okay.
At our last council meeting.
Oh, thank you. Well, maybe we don't need to consider that one then.
He was, what was the sheet you were just on? I just saw his name. Sorry.
Okay. Is the other person Rick Hartwig?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, but he's saying he's already on.
He was, he's
He
a
is
former
on.
member.
Okay,
he has
Former.
served on other boards and commissions.
Yeah.
He's been,
he's already had 1 term.
I think he's been on the urban
He was in
renewal.
the past.
He was on
In the
Sprout in the
past.
past.
Yeah. Well, I think if he has the support also of the
Yeah.
member, obviously that's a.
He says his application says he's applying for a second non-sequential term on Sprout. In my first term, I was the only member who visited every city park. I was the only member who took my dog to Metro Brown Dog
All right,
Park daily. I was the only member who played tennis in the city
Thumbs
parks. He goes on. He's
He's
a
into
retired
it.
educator.
I also serve as the chair of the community advisory board for Chariots, which also brings in like, how are people getting to park,
Yeah.
which I think is important.
Yeah.
I could help with him.
So I would like Rick and
Sigrid.
Sigrid,
I think Ingrid and
Ingrid,
Sigrid.
Sigrid.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do my best.
I think
Since will
it's,
probably never say that
I
name.
think it's Norwegian.
I think so too.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay.
Yay.
Pam,
we have one more, this is gonna be appropriate.
We're getting close here.
Oh, we have one more.
Planning.
Planning commission.
Our wonderful planning commission has 1 reappointment request. Marissa Thebe, her name might sound familiar, excuse me, it's only been on for a few months. But it's, her term's gonna be up at the end of next month.
Just, we move them around when we have the issue with.
Yeah.
The timing and people leaving, yeah.
That no more than 2. 2 members shall be, yeah.
So she's requesting reappointment. We don't have any reason to not reappoint her. So just like the others, I'm good with it. Are you guys good with it?
Yes,
It's only been on for like, what, a month or 2?
yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
when is the
But I
next
think they've had a
opening?
couple of meetings.
There's 24, so is Joaquin not asking to re-up? Is he in the same bracket?
That just hasn't been corrected yet.
Oh, okay. Is he scheduled for 25, 26?
I'll
25, I think.
double check exactly what that's supposed to be, but I think 25 is correct.
We
on
did
that.
the-
That'll be your 3rd member expiring in 25.
So next year they'll have 3.
Then they have 3 and 27.
And right now, there's a bunch of different people who have applied, yeah?
I haven't looked at planning in a minute, so I don't know. I'm sure that there's quite a few applicants left over,
That's good.
in between,
That
you know,
came in, yeah.
yeah,
Came in recently.
yeah.
So we'll have lots of people to choose from next year.
Mhm.
Great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else?
So I don't believe so.
Have the library.
Yeah, we have the library.
Did we have,
And I had 2 parks.
Yeah, did we skip over library?
Yes.
we did.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We addressed it real quick here when we looked at the big list, but then we went back. So lab, you have 1 opening. And you have a whole bunch, and the liaison responded that they had no comments.
Great.
We're
Thanks.
Thanks so much.
And there are no eligibility restrictions, am I right?
Correct.
Oh, wonderful.
And she always responds with, she has no no concerns, no feedback about the applicants.
And she may not.
Okay, can we
So-
look at the ward that ward
Yeah.
representation we already have?
That's always helpful.
1, 2.
No one
we don't
have 3, 5, or 6.
3, 5, or 6?
Or
That's-
8, do we have 8?
Yeah,
Yes.
Oh, we do have 8, okay.
3, 5, and 6. Can you highlight the 3, 5, and 6 applicants? Dan?
yeah,
Just make it a little easier to see.
3, 5. 5. That's it.
5, that's. Do we have a
No 6s is like, yeah, none.
Standard.
That's terrible.
Feels like the eye exam portion. Yeah.
1 or 2.
Right?
1 or 2.
I get so indecisive by the third time they do it, like, just pick one. Dealer's choice.
Can I have it again?
Oh my God,
2.
their patience with me is unending. I'm so grateful for them, like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, who are these people?
Yeah. And I'm sure that's supposed to be
And we have
seen.
Nathan Bracken that's non-resident. That who served on the,
Let's see, Rudick.
Oh, I found one, okay. What's an Oregon University? Oh, cool.
Oh, Kirsty, I assume. Interesting.
She's born and raised in Hawaii.
Yeah, I just saw that. She was in the leadership Salem
Can you go back
cohort.
to? Yeah,
Deputy Sarah, okay, thanks.
that's okay. They're not making it happen.
Interesting.
Does anybody know what the leadership Salem cohort is? Volunteering with Brad and this?
It's an education class that the chamber puts on, they go around like, I've spoken to them, they learn about different parts of the city and all sorts of different aspects.
I speak to government and business leaders. One of my members of my staff is in the cohort, I believe. Yeah, it's a really great leadership development program, mostly for young professionals.
I did it when I was in Newport, I did Leadership Lincoln, it's the same, they have the same kind of concept all around, yeah.
I'm liking Kirsty.
I'm also liking Sarah, she's an avid patron of libraries, feel that it plays a critical role in the community, bringing all people together.
And we have just one vacancy.
No, oh, we have just one, sorry,
Yeah.
okay.
Sarah.
but we just have one, I thought we.
Yes, we have one.
only have one. All right.
Dan, we have one vacancy, correct?
Thank you. You have one, yes, just one.
So there's 2 and 5 and 1 and 3.
Well,
Two
certainly
balance.
5 is underrepresented across the board on boards and commissions, so it would be nice to have another 5.
True.
I'm not finding Debbie or Kristen.
Christie is not on
They're
the
on
human,
very through, it's very in there, and they're both on the back.
she's not on the human right.
She is, she
Oh,
was,
okay, so
she's one of my
she is on the
recent
human
newbies.
right.
Who is?
Who?
Christy Rudick was just
Ah,
recently
Kirsty.
appointed.
Oh,
Christy,
okay.
yeah, she had her first
Okay,
Okay,
meeting last month.
so let's look at Debbie.
yeah, I think that she's already, I'm glad she's on something.
City reporter for Kaiser,
Is she really?
Debbie, retired.
Retired.
And she says she's a devoted patron of the library. I felt like it would be a good opportunity to give back.
Hmm.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah,
That's twice.
this retired after being deputy city reporter for the city of Kaiser. So she understands how boards and commissions work and the importance of the library. Yeah, she works for me.
They're all the way in the back.
Towards the back, yes.
Oh, she is.
For a lobby firm. And is Debbie in the back?
Debbie's kind of
Debbie's in the middle.
midway. She's on the, her application's on the back of
I
the.
must have missed her. Oh, there she is, okay.
I apologize for the two-sided printing, but
No, we get
It's
it.
better to stay.
Yeah.
It's so
We
much
just have to,
paper.
we just have to look through
It's
the,
crazy.
I really enjoy the names on the bottom though.
That is so helpful, yeah. It's on the museum board, family building laws, blah, blah, blah. You can say that about me too, it's fine. Everyone's resume has a blah, 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 at some point. That's not personal, I assure you.
Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah.
It's not meant as a put down, I want to make that clear for the record.
Yes.
It's a public meeting, so yeah.
Fine, tell me.
Okay.
I'm good with Debbie.
I don't have a strong opinion either way, so you, if you.
I think
She's
it's
Ward
nice.
5, she's the retired deputy city recorder
I
who
think
retires
it's
her,
nice
she's
to
been, she's,
represent five,
yeah.
because it is relatively
Yeah.
under
since she's not a
represented.
patron of the library.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah,
Okay.
sounds good,
Okay.
Sounds good.
Debbie Locker.
Is the
We
human
know she knows
rights
Robert's Rules of
full,
Order
or do you
very
still
well.
need members?
We still welcome members. We have quite a few applicants, but we also still have openings.
So someone reached out, she's moved here and she is kind of. I know that she was promoting the state hospitals museum. She came to,
She's
She
recently
came to Swan,
applied.
didn't she? Was
yes,
that the one from
Yes.
Swan? Yeah, yeah.
yes.
I would love to put her on,
She
yeah.
emailed me that she applied for
Yes.
human rights.
I
She
just
would
looked at the
be,
application.
and she was very.
Well, we'll have an opportunity to consider those applications at a future meeting.
At another time,
Yep.
I know, but I'm just sharing that.
Thank you, good to know.
Introduced herself, we met her.
I think I forwarded, she emailed me too, I thought I had forwarded it on.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's the person that
Yeah.
you connected me with.
That's right,
I think
yeah.
you're right.
So yeah, no,
And
she's
then
reached out.
And then I emailed her and
That's
she,
great.
Dan, do we have anything else on the agenda?
We do not. Mr.
All right,
yay,
we're adjourned.
whoa.
Thanks, everybody.
Alrighty then,
Let's stream.
good stuff.
Yeah, let me get up here, Terrence.
Are we going to get an update again from Colleen?